finally. With Hitman.
Oh yeah, Hitman. Yes, another fine Square Enix product.
That's probably the best thing they've done in my opinion in like a decade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like yeah. So yeah, what did you think of the Bangkok map?
I thought it was good. I don't know. I had a good time on it. Don't get me wrong. It was just that everywhere I went, there seemed to be people who were suspect of me, no matter what outfit I had on. And it just seems like that's not in as many of the other levels. Like there was always one outfit in every other level that made you kind of like untouchable.
We are saying this. I watched you stream the game last night, and there's some things you could do, Nico. Maybe
I will admit that there were a few hiccups in my assassination plan.
Well,
but
I mean,
I did get the 2 kills, and I did get away on a boat. Part of my fuck ups. I know this is going to sound like a shitty excuse for
I will be quick to refute these excuses if you go with them.
No. It's not a big excuse. I can recall a couple of events where I accidentally vaulted over things, and stuff like that. Where that was 100% due to me playing and talking to the stream.
I thought you were about to say due to you playing intoxicated.
No,
we're not going to go into that.
I drank a Red Stripe.
Yep.
But
that good Red Stripe.
But I did find that like talking about the game or something while playing it, I walked right over to that one little cabana shed thing, and I just hopped right in front of those 2 waiters, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And they like got all mad, and that was definitely just me like spacing out, and I didn't.
One of my favorite moments was when you were like listening. You were trying to listen to an opportunity get revealed, and you were kind of like trying to blend in by standing right next to a guy that was like leaning on a balcony. You were just kind of standing straight, bolt upright, like just like next to him. And then just as soon as the opportunity was revealed, you just leapt over the fucking railing, whatever it was. Just like started like hung there, and everyone was like, "What the fuck's this guy doing?"
It was a very awkward day by the pool at that hotel. It was a hanging bald man climbing around things.
So yeah, that's number one. Don't draw attention to yourself by vaulting over things and just hanging yourself like from a place or whatever.
The massive pile of men in that bedroom that I acquired. Like there's like 7 guys in there or something.
Yeah, and the key thing is there didn't need to be 7 guys in there, Nico.
Well, they all kept running in, huh?
Because of you, Nico.
I don't know. I ran into the lady's hotel room to steal her precious microphone, and shit went south real fast.
It was great because you'd been waiting for ages, and like your play style is kind of like mine. Is you get impatient and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck this, I want to play. Like,
yeah, exactly, yeah. And like, you know, Hitman is kind of beautiful because it lets you do that, and it lets you kind of get away with that if you're good enough. And it's like, so another thing was that like you'd waited for ages. You were at the point where you're just like throwing coins at guys, like just.
I banked one off of a vase. That was great.
Yeah! Skill shot. But then eventually, like this, so essentially the opportunity is, you need to get a microphone that is prone to electric shock, take it up to an audio engineer, and the target is a guy that's going to do vocals, and he will get electrocuted off the microphone. We'll get onto why that didn't work.
Oh God,
it was
that's bullshit.
So essentially, you have to wait outside. You have to get into this woman's room where she's boning a sound engineer.
Is that what that guy was doing there?
So you just kind of like ran in after her, left the door open. You ran into her hotel room, and she was just kind of like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That's what you told me to do.
So you ran in, knocked her the fuck out, and then. Like, whilst the door was open, like, visible to guards and everything, then the guards were running in, and you ran into the fucking bedroom, and then the sound engineer guy's lying, like, on the floor, like,
I
topless.
stepped on him and he woke
you're
up.
just like, oh, and then you knock him out. And then guards just come piling in. You chuck a coin to try and distract them.
It fucking worked. That was the best part. I hid behind the door and I chucked the coin and it made the guard turn around. I was like, yes, and I just punched him. And then the doors closed and then I disguised myself as that guard and I walked out and the other guard didn't fucking notice.
But then they did notice and then you had to run back into the room.
For some reason. Oh yeah, then they ran in after I left the room and I chased them back in and had to punch everybody again. I just had to keep going back to that hotel room to punch people in the head. The
thing is, they woke up the topless guy that you knocked out, and then you just went and fucking knocked him out again. It was great. And then you were like freaking out because you had all these bodies in a room, and you were like looking for the microphone all over the fucking place.
There was a bunch of bodies on the microphone. That was like,
like you didn't notice the microphone because of all the bodies hiding it.
The microphone I didn't actually need because it never worked.
So what I will say is that if you just followed the woman in, closed the door, and then knocked her out, you would have been fine. You would have been absolutely fine. You could have knocked out. Like what I did in that mission was, I checked in at the desk with and got taken up to my room where you can call room service, and so the guy will come up. And you can knock him out in there and take his clothes. So you're just like a bald kind of waiter guy with a barcode on the back of his head. And that was like how I got access to the women's room. And then you get the sound engineer costume, you get the microphone, and I managed that pretty cleanly, and it was not like a huge thing. It was like
took me an hour and a half to beat that mission.
You told me before you started streaming the way you tried to get into the women's room at first was by planting a mine outside the room.
So here's my line of thinking, right? In my first playthrough, like when I didn't stream that one. First of all, I did get into the room. I checked in and got into my room on that playthrough, and I just didn't do anything.
The explosive got you into the room.
No. So here's what happened. This is even weirder. She got in there and I realized like, oh shit, I don't have the key card. So after like a good 20 minutes of running around the level looking for that key card to get into her room, I couldn't find it. I thought I'd find like a master key card or something, I don't know. I decided, I got this landmine. I got an idea. I'll like make a fire alarm go off or something, and I'll create an explosion. And usually explosions in Hitman like cause a huge panic and everyone runs out of the building.
Yeah,
or like for the most part, they at least vacate the area of the explosion. It's kind of weird. I'd get the fuck out of there in general if that happened, but that's just me.
I'll let you tell this story, and then I'll tell you why this is super dumb.
Okay, so like I planted a landmine fairly far away from her room, but within earshot, I figured, and so I place it, and as soon as I place the mine, I get the fuck out of there because I had a bad experience with placing a mine in Hitman once where I just fragged myself and I was like, oh, okay. And so I chucked it, I got the hell out of there, and I go to Hitman Batman vision, and I thought I could trigger the mine. I guess I couldn't. So instead, I felt horrible. This poor waitress, she hears this beeping, right? And she's like, oh, what's that? And she walks over, like, what the hell is this? And she walks over, and it fucking kills her. I was like, oh, that poor woman. She had no part in this.
The reason this story is so dumb is because you can just go and set off a fire alarm. There's fire alarms about. You can just go up to them.
I'm a hitman. I might as well do it with some pizzazz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hitmen are known for their fireworks that they cause.
Agent 40 Blakely is. But so I did that, and the guards came running, and everyone started freaking out, and of course, everyone except her, and she didn't even run out of her fucking hotel room. I was like, okay, that's great.
You see, but this is the thing. This is what I fucking love about this game, is that, like, you had a totally fucking different experience, and you're now telling me this story, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, this is the best comedy game that has been released, like, in years. And
so many good little moments.
Yeah.
Just in any time you play this game. I I can't stress it enough how fucking fun this game is now. It's like,
yeah, exactly, and it's like the thing is, it's weird because like the fact that you can like kind of break the AI in this like leads to hilarity and stuff. In Deus Ex, like there's still that kind of illogical AI where it's like you throw a trash can and it bounces off a wall and hits a guard, and then all the police in the entire city are trying to fucking kill you. Like, to
be fair, that's a lot of Hitman shit too, though.
True, but it's like, but
you bumped into me, stand down. It's like, whoa. Like,
but in there it's kind of like, okay, you just reload a save and then you go on your way. Like in Deus Ex, like, the police don't forget that, and, like, they just group up and they fucking, like, try to kill you. But, I mean, like you say, it's like Hitman, because returning to your story,
overreacting
the opportunity
NPCs.
Where, like, you went upstairs because you had the microphone, you had the sound engineer outfit. Somehow you fucking got out of that. You went upstairs, and this opportunity is meant to just be a case of you talk to the guy at the desk. He tells you to go and replace the microphone in the vocal booth. I
saved right there too. You told me to manually save at this moment, and I did, which is a very good call because I did not realize that I would die twice after this save.
Right, so essentially you installed a new microphone, and then they bring the guy down that you're meant to kill, and he goes in there, and the increased voltage on the microphone means that he gets an electric shock and dies. For me,
that's what should have happened.
For me, that was like super simple. Like, I was like laughing my fucking ass off because of how dumb this opportunity was, and it was amazing. Like, what happened with you was the first time you went through it, it's in a recording studio. You went up to the guitarist and crouched down at her pedal board, and like you're making fucking jokes like, oh, what's that pedal you got there? and she stands up and it's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm reporting this behavior or whatever. And then
jeez. Gosh, you can't even look at anyone's pedal boards anymore.
You ran away, and immediately the reaction from the guards was, kill that sound engineer. Like, weapons live.
I questioned her tone, and I shouldn't have.
I just love the idea that, like, by examining a pedal board, the guards are like, this guy has to fucking die.
This guy's here to kill someone, clearly.
So... well, because you examined her pedal board, and then you went the wrong way around the vocal booth, and you got immediately spotted by a sound engineer.
The world's most fucking, like, God, that guy doesn't miss anything. That guy should get a promotion from good. Like, that guy's like, you're not a sound engineer. Immediately, just like, and then I ran in.
And then you
who is that guy?
You hid in the vocal booth, and the guards were like looking for you, looking to fucking shoot you to death, and they couldn't fucking shoot you through the vocal booth. It was great.
Thankfully, yeah, and they didn't see me through the tinted window. I don't think.
Yeah. And then you just...
I was crouching in front of him, and he was staring right at me, and he didn't react to me. So I was like, oh my god, he can't see me. What a great, like... what a great opportunity that would have been to reduce your wanted level, or, whatever it is in Hitman. Except you just decided to just leave. Well, yeah, you gotta make a break for it. I've learned that sitting still kills you sometimes, and so I got the hell out of there.
And so you ran away and got killed.
But luckily I had a save.
Actually, no, you didn't get killed because you managed to hide in the room in a room, and a guard came in. You knocked him out, and you got in a guard uniform. And the way that the kind of the compromise system works with the outfits, it's like, if you're dressed in one outfit and you're compromised in that, if you get into another outfit and commit a crime and then change back into the other outfit, like, you're then fine because because the last crime that was seen was committed in the outfit that you got in really temporarily and committed a crime in, then switch back to your original outfit.
This is, of course, how real life works.
So I was watching this stream and I was like, oh fucking hell, Nico's completely fucked this. And so he gets into a guard's uniform out of the sound engineer's one, kills another guard, so everyone's looking for a guard now, and then he just switches back into his sound engineer uniform, and everyone's like, okay, we need to find a guard.
Yeah. so and then I fucked with some cables.
You fucked with some cables, and then another sound engineer like recognized you or something. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I was blending in. That's bullshit, Hitman. Blending in is the universal safe zone of Hitman.
I did think that, you know, blending in was kind of a kind of sacred act.
Blending in is like it allows you to like stand in one spot and be like invisible, and you can like, you know, it's a good opportunity to rotate the camera and look at shit in the room.
Yeah,
and it's like it's supposed to. I did it all the time in the laboratory underneath the mansion.
Yes, yeah, in Sapienza.
It's like essential to get through that one room actually, because otherwise there's like a scientist lady who walks back and forth, and you gotta like. I start blending in when she turns to you and stuff, and she doesn't notice you.
I found in that mission in particular, it was like I could just run through the lab and then quickly change into the hazmat suit, and then they were fine. But anyway, so
yeah, that's right.
So back to this scenario. Like, you get killed, so you reload the manual save, which, you know, I told you to fucking do, and I like, you know. I'm glad you did, Nico. So
too bad the event never worked.
That's the thing. So you load up the event again. You load up so you're just before you talk to the sound engineer. So you talk to the sound engineer. You go around the right way to the vocal booth, so you don't get spotted. You install the microphone. You come back, and then you. One of the dumbest parts of this fucking opportunity. You're just tasked with mixing this track.
God.
It says mixing it, but you're actually like writing it. Like, I mean,
or just I'm poking at various pre-recorded like
stems.
Techno beats on a tablet. Like, what is this song even?
I mean, yeah.
And why does one push of this button change it from like a alternative song to like a techno song to like a weird like ambient modern rock song to like, what is this? Like,
I mean, you know, as someone who does a lot of work with sound, and as someone who writes a lot of songs and records a lot of songs, I can tell you that's exactly how it works. You just get the 4x4 grid of the waveforms in front of you. Like, that 4x4 grid is all music ever, and you just select the right ones, and that's a song.
How do you think Bach did it?
Exactly. Yeah, like, you know, all the kind of significant musical movements, you know, from, you know, medieval music, you know, through
Beethoven. Come on, Beethoven.
Beethoven,
right there.
Yeah, like, you know, romantic composers. You know, you got Hector Berlioz, right up to neoclassical, free jazz, everything. It's all just composed by a 4x4 grid of
Falco's "Rock Me Amadeus."
Yeah, exactly.
A timeless classic.
It's a 4x4 grid of waveforms that is all music, and you just pick the music that's right. And
it's your very own music that's all yours.
And it's like, you know, there's that's just how music works, right? Okay, and Hitman got that so right.
Agent 47 can do fucking anything.
He's a Renaissance man. He's
I love this guy. I love him, and he doesn't. And he's so humble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, he's not even humble. He just doesn't have like the majority of emotions that a human being would have.
Exactly.
But he can somehow do all these things that actually kind of require some form of charisma, but he doesn't have any. I don't get it.
So yeah, you go into this quote-unquote mixing minigame thing, and you pick the right waveforms and stuff, and the guy at the mixing desk, who's meant to be this like super well-known producer or whatever, who's also a maniac apparently, like
looks like the guy from Counting Crows.
Yeah. And he, like, you know, he's like, oh, this is fucking great, yeah.
Oh god, he loved my beats. Yeah,
exactly. And everyone's like applauding you and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Everybody stops what they're fucking doing and turns to me. Even the security guards, like, as if they know what the fuck's going on. And it's like,
but then at that point in the opportunity, someone's meant to go and get the target, who's the vocalist in this fucking indie band, and he's meant to come down.
Maybe I knocked that guy out.
You
ever think that maybe like the engineer guy that I knocked out in the clothes I took, maybe that was the one guy who was going to go get the target?
Maybe. No, so yeah, usually he just comes down, and like this, like I got through that kill like pretty easily when I did it. Like, you know, it was just like really funny to see, like, so he gets into the vocal booth, and starts singing, and you've increased the voltage on the microphone, and he gets shocked and dies, and no one fucking like.
Nobody reacted to
the
yours,
guitarist
right?
the guitarist is just still playing.
Well,
like,
we know she's a sociopath at this point.
Well,
she's crazy and troublemaker.
The only person that reacts is a sound engineer goes in and fucking like wraps the guy up in a body bag, and everyone's just still like where they are. No one gives a fuck. But for you, it didn't work. Like it just came up like no jam session in progress, and like what the fuck. So you just ended up going upstairs and luring the guy into a room by like
it was the best kill in history. I opened up the door to his bedroom. I stood behind a pillar so he couldn't see me. I flipped a coin into his room. He heard the coin. He walked into his room. I followed in behind him. I closed the door. I snapped his neck. I put him in a closet. I took his sword and I played his guitar.
Yeah, you took his sword, threw it through the door.
Oh yeah, I threw it through the door, and
it's a gold sword.
And this woman started screaming and said, "There's a weapon here!" And, this guard came up and just looked at it, and then he went, "All right," and then he walked away.
More accurately, it would be, "There's a ghost weapon here." It's
a fucking katana just flew through this rock star's door. Also, I'm pretty sure I heard him die. I don't think she was right there.
It was great because it's like because you know like because there's the guitar there and it comes up saying play guitar, and I was like, Nico, you gotta play that guitar, and you're like, I don't know, it'll draw people's attention to me or whatever, and I was like, play the fucking guitar.
Yeah.
And so you picked it up and he just strums an E power chord. It's like damn, and it's like and then just puts it down,
and then nobody fucking is like, who's just like strumming the same fucking chord over and over in here, because like, you can do it just over and over.
Like, what is this, a Lungfish show? Like it's that's a super obscure joke. Like if you don't,
it's perfect though. They do have songs that are just straight E.
if you haven't listened to Lungfish, go listen to Lungfish. They're really fucking great.
Repetition is a very big part of their guitar philosophy. It's awesome.
It's great. But
Agent 47 probably moonlights as like a touring guitarist for Lungfish. I can see it.
Agent 47 is the new Asa Osborne. Who would be the Daniel Higgs in a Hitman scenario? Would that be Diane?
I guess. I'm trying. God, who are these Hitman characters even? I can't even I can't even figure. Slicked back hair guy who's been killing random people who are in CGI cutscenes. Don't think me, you're already dead. Asian guy. I don't know who that guy was. He was just like he was mean. He was like mean in one cutscene, and then all of a sudden he was like super scared in another one with the guy in the parking lot who dies. I think the businessman. Who are all these people? I don't even know their names.
That's the thing, but okay, like this is actually an interesting thing because I left before you completed the mission, so I didn't see like what happened. But like, did you watch the cutscene?
The lawyer guy.
Did you watch the cutscene afterwards?
Yeah, that's the first time you actually see Agent 47 in one of these fucking after episode cutscenes.
Like, you know, like okay. Spoiler warning here, like
there's no spoilers for Hitman. What is this?
Like the thing, like, you know, the other episodes, it's like I don't care about talking about the cutscenes afterwards because they have almost literally nothing to do with anything you've done in the mission or anything like that.
There's like a villain in this game who's like somehow a villain who's not in the game. It's like, oh, so far he hasn't been in the fucking game. Like, you know what I mean?
But the interesting thing about this like end of mission cutscene is that it actually starts to kind of it starts. I mean, for one, it starts to bring 47 into it, like, but it also starts to kind of like. I don't know if anything worthwhile is going to come from this, like, but
someone's going to get killed.
It starts to kind of like frame the whole thing, like all the missions you've been doing. It starts to kind of frame like 47 in quite an interesting way because it's like again, spoiler warning if you don't want to know what happens at the end of this episode, even though it's not like mind-blowing narrative stuff or whatever, like it's interesting.
Skip forward
like a couple of minutes or whatever.
Skip forward like 3 minutes.
Yeah, so it's like so essentially the mission ends and Diane, the kind of your operator, I guess, like comes to meet you at an airport terminal, and you start talking about the fact that actually because you have like these kind of briefings for the stories behind the hits and everything like that, And like, so you're told for this mission that it's like the parents of a girl that has been murdered by this rock star guy have hired you to kill the rock star guy as an act of like revenge almost, and to kill the lawyer slash fixer for the family, you know, because he's like the son of like the biggest media mogul on the planet or whatever. And it's like you're kind of like, Diane kind of goes into the idea of like, actually, like, this hit might have come from someone else, or I think that's it. It's like, essentially, it's like, you know, like, I think this hit was like a trap of sorts to kind of like lure the media mogul out into the open, so that the kind of slick back hair guy that's played by Troy Baker could kill him. And like, so it's the idea that like the kind of quote unquote main villain of the game has been kind of manipulating you in order that he can then get access to the people that he wants to kill and everything like that. And it's like, it's interesting because 47, as he's being told this, kind of goes like, well, we, you know, the leads, it's not our job to look into, you know, who gave us these orders, as long as they're not like, you know, as long as they're like kind of like, I think he says something along the lines of like, politics aren't what we do. So it's interesting, the idea that like 47 doesn't give a fuck about like his role in things. Like, he doesn't care that he's just like kind of being sent to kill these people.
He also said he didn't see a pattern.
Yeah.
With all these killings. I was like, Agent 47, every time you do a mission, someone related to that mission dies. Yeah. How do you not see the pattern? Like, what?
Yeah, so it's there's some like some dumb stuff there, and like I say, I don't know if anything worthwhile is going to come of this, but it's like, you know, I think that there's some interesting stuff they could do with the character of 47 there.
Give him hair. Can we just give him hair?
Just a long mane.
That would be so crazy if the next Hitman season, if they do any more seasons, it's like he's got a little bit of hair now, you know?
And yeah, he's got like some stubble and shit. Like,
yeah, give me some character progression, like in Tekken. You know how like Tekken, everyone gets older looking and stuff. That's so good. Tekken's great.
Unless you're Kazuya, in which case you get younger.
Kazuya just gets more scars and gets younger at the same time. Anyways, Tekken's so great.
I love Tekken. So yeah, that's Hitman, I guess. It's still great. The 4th episode, like, I mean, you were saying like you weren't a huge fan of this map.
It could be better.
I really like this map. Like,
it's better than Marrakesh.
Marrakesh, yeah. I agree. Like, you know, like you were saying last week, it's like Marrakesh was like, there's all these people there, but they don't seem to be like doing anything.
It was the loneliest riot I've ever been to.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good way of putting it. But it's also interesting because last night you were talking about the idea that Hitman is the Curb Your Enthusiasm of video games.
I was about to say that the newest map makes me feel like I'm Larry David stumbling around on vacation, getting into trouble.
That is the perfect way to describe Hitman. It's just like, you just kind of find yourself like fumbling into these situations and just kind of like ending up falling in deeper and deeper, and it's like a
bunch of misunderstandings with the hotel staff, and they start calling the security on you. You're like, no, and run away.
I'm knocking out these guys. I have to knock out this guy again. It's like, honestly, like the idea that this is the Curb Your Enthusiasm of video games is fucking fascinating to me and kind of hilarious.
You're the bumbling bald man.
Exactly. So yeah, it's I really like the idea that. I was watching your stream last night and I was seeing areas of that map that I hadn't seen before, and there are areas that you haven't seen of that map. Like, I
can't wait to actually. I can't wait to do the escalations now, because the escalations teach me more about the map, and then I like coming back to the original mission and trying to do the more epic kills. Like,
well, yeah,
I don't feel satisfied with my playthrough because both of my kills ended up being like by the what was it saying? By the seat of my pants? Is that what that is? Seat of my pants?
Well, I guess the idea is that like you just kind of ended up killing them. Like, it wasn't like some kind of spectacular thing.
The Rockstar was just like, okay, fuck this. I've spent like an hour trying to kill this motherfucker, and then the lawyer was like, I genuinely couldn't get a moment with him alone.
Yeah.
Like, he was always standing out on the balcony. So finally, I did this opportunity to get a message from him. He was expecting a message
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you get down to the front desk.
I haven't done that opportunity, but like
I technically didn't either, because all I did was he read the thing and he's like, all right, I gotta go down to the wine cellar, and then I put on a guard uniform and I followed him into, like, he walks through a weird construction site that only guards can walk through, and he walked down a staircase to the wine cellar, and as he was halfway down the staircase, I just walked up behind him and his bodyguard and I just shot them both in the back of the head. And then they slid down the staircase, and then I guess there was a dude taking like a break down there smoking a cigarette, because all of a sudden you hear a guy go, ah, and I'm like, he goes, and you just go, I can't see who did this, like that's all he yells, and I just walked out and I got on a boat and left.
You see, the thing is, like, the way that I took care of the lawyer was another opportunity in which the lawyer wants to buy, like, I think it's let me just check that I'm getting, it's Tuk Tuk. Yeah, that's what it's called. He wants to buy a Tuk Tuk, which is like one of those. Like,
that's what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
I kept seeing that. I was like, Tuk Tuk. What the hell is that?
He wants to buy a Tuk Tuk for some reason. So, like, if you don't, like, the Tuk Tuk is just like a kind of van type thing.
It's like the weird 3-wheeled scooter van.
Yeah.
Thing.
And like he wants to buy one of them. So you fix the Tuk Tuk that's broken. And then the guy goes to get the other guy, and basically, like, there's an oil canister right next to it. So I just, like, punctured the oil canister, and then put a bunch of, like, these explosive propane tanks next to it. So it's like, so he comes and, like, starts the engine, and then it starts a fire in the oil, and then everything blows up, and which was just like a really strange way of, like, I was just like, why does this lawyer want to buy a Tuk Tuk? But then like it got to the kind of ending screen, the score screen, and like I'd gone unnoticed killing them both, and I hadn't killed anyone I hadn't killed anyone apart from the targets. I thought, and I was like, it came up like saying, oh, non-targets killed 10, and I was like, the fuck, I didn't kill 10 people. Then I realized, oh, maybe it was all the propane tanks and the massive explosion that resulted from the propane tanks that caused some collateral damage, maybe.
God, was your score just like 0? Like,
yeah, it was,
negative?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't, like, I completed so many challenges in that mission that my mastery rating and the unlocks I got from that still, that still happened, and I still got like a good reward from the mission, I guess. But yeah, it's like I love that map, and like I hadn't had much of a chance to go back to it. But yeah, it's definitely one that I want to explore some more.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.